Hi traders, this is Taylor from thetradinganalyst.com, and I just wanted to go over a trade that we did not take on Friday afternoon, but I'm going to go over exactly why we didn't take it, and hopefully you can learn a thing or two about our process, and it'll help you in your own trading. So this is the Google 15-minute chart. Now, we had on our watch list to get short on on Google on a break of this support, okay? This is the 15-minute candles and a 15-minute close below this support of 757.50, okay? Now we got that right here with these two candles, both closed below that support, okay? Both of these two red candles closed below support. Now, why did I not take that trade if it broke below that support and it was on my watch list? Well, I'm going to tell you why. The reason why is because Google had already reached its average range on this drop, okay? And what is average range? Average range is the average range that a stock moves in a day, okay? So for example, I use stockcharts.com to get my average ranges from, okay? This is the Google daily chart here, and if you scroll down at the bottom here, average true range, okay? And you can choose any period of time in here, okay? So I have 3 days, 7 days, 14 days. So I have the average range for the last 3 days is $11.5, okay? The average range of the last 7 days is, again, $11.5 for Google. The average range for the last 14 days is 12.6, okay? Now the average range is calculated by getting the high and the low of the last 14 days in this period, in that case, 7 days in that case, okay? So it's calculated from the high and the low, okay? So what I like to do, and the reason I have the average range for the 3 days, 7 days, 14 days is just because I want to get a good picture of where that range is going to be. So normally I will write in my watch list the average range for Google. I will put 11.5 to 12.6. Now remember that this is the average range. So sometimes it's going above 12.6 to 14, even 15 sometimes. Sometimes it's going under 11.5, sometimes to $9 or $10 in that day, okay? This is just to give you an idea of the average, okay? And the reason that's helpful is if you are a range trader or a weekly option trader, you want to know exactly how far a stock is going to go, okay? You don't want to be riding a play for as long as you can because it will reverse on you if it's well outside of the average range. Now, does that happen every time? No, but on average, this is what happens. And I personally like to play what happens most of the time, okay? So the reason we didn't get short on Google on that break is because if you look here, this is Friday's action right here, okay? The high over here for Google was 767, okay? A break below, sorry about that, got interrupted by the barking dogs. Okay, so I believe I left off from the why we did not take this trade. So the high over here of Friday's session was 767, okay? The low over here was 756. Okay, so that is an 11-point range already. Okay, and if you remember, we're already at 11.5 to 12.6 is the average range. Okay, now our target on this short was going to be 750. Okay, so 750 is another 6-7 points below. Okay, which would have been well outside of the average range for Google. Okay, so that is why we didn't take the trade. In this case, it ended up being a good decision that we did not take that trade because we would have gotten stopped out. Okay, there's nothing wrong with getting stopped out, but I like to avoid losses, when I can. Okay, when the trade works out, it works out. When it doesn't, it doesn't. Okay, so since it was well outside of its average range, or it would have been at 750, we did not take that trade. Now, it doesn't always work that way. Sometimes, if the stock is in a contracted range for a while and then it breaks out of that range, sometimes you can see, you know, Google could very well move 20, $30. Okay, that's happened plenty of times before where I won't take that trade and then it'll end up moving exactly to my target and beyond that. But on average, it does not do that. And it's a good decision to not take that trade if it's going to be well outside of the average range. Okay, guys, that's it for the video. I appreciate you guys watching it. Hopefully, you'll be able to learn a thing or two of it. Just wanted to share some insights into my personal trading. I'll see you guys next time.